Hello and welcome everyone to We'll Be Right Back, the future of hospitality. On We'll Be Right Back, we interview people from every corner of the service and hospitality industry, as well as representatives from organizations providing relief and resources as we learn how to manage and settle into this new reality after COVID-19. I am your host, Greg Tilton. For this episode, I am joined by Billow Angulo of La Cocinita. Rachel, thanks for coming on the show. And before we get underway, I just want to let everyone know that I've enjoyed a worrisome amount of amazing tacos from your food truck, especially when you're parked by Rendezvous.
Thanks for having me on the show.
So please, to introduce yourself and tell me about La Cocinita.
Yeah, so my husband Benoit and I started La Cocinita food truck back in 2011. We met working at Commander's Palace. We used to go to the Rendezvous after a long shift at the restaurant. We'd go have a drink or two. And one night, Benoit was talking about how, as we're starting to get hungry late at night, he's talking about how New Orleans is this amazing, foodie city with a really lively drinking culture, but without the late night food to support that late night drinking culture. So he's from Venezuela, and when he was a young adult, they would go out and they'd be drinking late at night, and there were these strips of late night, like street food stalls, Calle del Hambre, Hunger Street. And they used to have these arepas, like the Venezuelan cornmeal patties, and so that was something that he really missed about his hometown of Caracas, and so something that he felt would be cool to bring to New Orleans. So that was when he pitched the idea of starting a food truck, and it was literally over drinks at the Rendezvous. And so a few months later, we bought a food truck and outfitted it, and I kind of left my career as a social worker with a part-time job at a restaurant, dove right into to the hospitality industry with him. So we started the food truck, and then we've got 2 food trucks and 2 restaurants, one of each in Chicago and one of each in New Orleans.
And here in New Orleans, you've got, obviously, like you said, the food truck, frequently outside Rendezvous, You're Destroying My Waistline. And you also have the stall at the Pythian Market.
That's our first and currently only brick and mortar location in New Orleans is at the food hall, which we've really enjoyed being a part of.
Yeah, that's been a great space as well, just for a lot of great food for all y'all out there. So this will kind of timestamp the episode, but we're currently doing shelter in place, and obviously this is going to go for a while, and there will be some kind of ripple effect after, I'm sure, as business slowly come back online. So a lot of places have been adapting curbside pickups, online ordering, things like that. What is La Cocinita currently doing?
Yeah, so the Pythian Market actually has its own online ordering system. We're doing curbside pickup as well as free delivery within an 8-mile radius.
So the Pythian Market, did that online market come as a result of the new situation, or was that set up before?
It was actually set up before, but it was a really nice tool to have in place given everything that's going on. Yeah, they just launched that a few months ago, so that was good timing.
So you said y'all are doing free delivery within 8-mile radius. Is that everyone at Pythian Market, or is that La Cocinita specifically?
So it's all the vendors that are currently open.
Wow.
So at this point, that's Eat Well, the Vietnamese stall, Willie Mays, of course, who knows their fried chicken, 14 Parishes for Jamaican, Kai's does poke and sushi, Maribo does pizza, and then La Cocinita obviously does tacos and arepas. PM Burger is doing like burgers, grilled cheese, that kind of thing.
People just in general are not going out as much, and I think you're providing a valuable resource, and I think it's great that people can support local businesses and eat locally and be safe.
The market itself, prior to the closure, of course, is a great way for people to come together and enjoy, different cuisines. Maybe one person feels like tacos, but another feels like Jamaican. It's a great way for people to come together and either, sample from different cuisines, or the family member or friend who just had tacos last night, has a totally different option available to them. And now with the delivery service available, people can do the same thing. So, one family can order food while sheltering in place. One person's in the mood for one cuisine, and, each person can get something different, and they can all enjoy dinner together with one simple delivery.
Oh, wow. You can mix and match from the various places in your Pythian order? Because, I don't know anyone that offers that. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, we get a lot of people who, sometimes you'll see a couple churro orders where that they're getting, their meal somewhere else, but they want to end it with the churros or that kind of, there's a lot of mix and match going on, which is great.
And see, I don't know about you, but my family, you don't generally order entrees for yourself. it's very much a group order. I think it drives my wife crazy because everyone's like, oh, I want this, so you should get that, and you should get, and everyone, like, if you duplicate entrees and appetizers, it's like a big no-go. So I think that it's nice to know I can simulate my family's spreading, I don't know, it's like shared selfishness. It's like, I want to eat all these different things, but I can't be responsible for all of them. So
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, you can do it that way, and then we also have, we've got family style meals as well. So,
exactly.
taco bar type things, be able to place a simple order for the whole family also.
And you said they're also, and again, I'm not trying to focus too much on Pythian Market, but you made it a point to mention in our, prep discussion, they opened a convenience store of sorts, right? So like they're also offering some essentials. You mentioned baby wipes, diapers, facial tissues, soap, garbage bags. I'll stop reading the exact list, but you get my point.
Yeah, it's not, and that way people can get, just some basic groceries and household essentials with their dinner delivery. So, it allows you to avoid, going out to the store because you're running low on toilet paper or whatever it is, that you need or would like to plan. Maybe you're ordering dinner, but this way you've got, groceries for lunch for tomorrow.
If you're good to move on, I'd love to talk a little bit about what y'all are doing in Chicago and some of the more like relief side work you're planning here in New Orleans. I think, that was a really cool discussion we had, and I'd love to kind of break more into that. So when we had talked the other day, the Chicago La Cocinita had started this GoFundMe page, and it raised, $1,000 or so at the time, but it just started up. But the idea, right, was for every $10 that was raised, y'all were doing like very subsidized meals to emergency workers. And you rolled that out in Chicago and have been exploring ways to possibly roll that out here in New Orleans. Could you tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah, so in Chicago we've raised about $2,500 so far. Yeah, and so we've been delivering meals to ERs, ICUs, police departments, that kind of thing, and it's been a great way for the community to support not only our local first responders and nurses, doctors, everyone who's really sacrificing their own health and well-being and needs in order to protect us as a community, and at the same time, they're able to support a small family-owned business. And just like in New Orleans, restaurants are obviously struggling during this as we're shifting from dine-in service to only offering delivery and curbside pickup. So it's a nice way to support small businesses while also really helping out these healthcare workers and first responders. We've gotten a lot of awesome feedback from them saying how much it brightened their day to get our food delivered. And a lot of them enjoy our tacos. They get the food delivered to the hospital through third-party delivery services on a regular basis anyway. And so to have that be a nice little surprise for their dinner break. The last post I saw from one of the nurses was that the team was speechless. So it's pretty awesome.
It sounds like y'all are talking about doing similar efforts in New Orleans, but we have a wonderful problem, which is a lot of great organizations are stepping up and are offering, not that everyone's working the same exact things, but people are all trying to coordinate. You've got a ton of people working around the clock on all these solutions, and dialogue is starting to happen to make sure that people aren't working at cross purposes. I know you specifically brought up the crew of Red Beans and how they've been raising money.
Yeah, they've been doing a fantastic job. The Chef Brigade, Toops is feeding hospitality industry workers, who need assistance right now. We're trying to figure out what the right niche is, whether it's collaborating with an existing effort or a new target audience that could use the help. It's taken a little more time in New Orleans, which, like you said, it's a good thing. It's a reflection of the fact that we have a lot of amazing people doing a lot of really wonderful things right now. So yeah, it's just a matter of kind of taking the time to work through the logistics to figure out where our services could be best allocated, and where the meals are needed, whether it's supporting an existing effort with one of the organizations I named. Drew Brees just donated a massive amount of money to help feed people. I'm sure that there's going to be local and federal government funding as well, whether that's something that we can tap into, or just using our own resources and creating a similar grassroots GoFundMe kind of effort here. We're eager to get involved, and I'd love to get back to my social work roots, with the resources that we have in place with our restaurant and and the vendors at the Pythian Market.
Where does La Cocinita go from here? Where are you going from here? And What's kind of the dialogue you're having with your staff? I know it's not just about keeping businesses open. It's also about a lot of places are trying to keep people employed and trying to help the more vulnerable gig economy workers, service, hospitality, right? Where they're feeling it in a very unique way.
Yeah, so right now it's sort of an odd situation because we're trying to limit our staff to one person in the stall at any given time, just to just for social distancing
Hmm.
purposes. If you've seen our stall at the Pythian Market, or even our food truck, we work in very small spaces, and so on the one hand, there's that. On the other hand, we've got an amazing team of employees who we certainly want to support and keep on our payroll and figure out ways to do that. So one thing that we've been doing is trying to guide them in the process of unemployment, locate sources of funding. There are some grants available. I've been trying to work with them to find some outside sources of funding and to figure out how we can grow our current operation in a way that allows them to work if they so choose, because we do have a couple of people who have underlying health issues, and so we of course want to respect that and their wishes to stay home and keep themselves safe. For those who want to work, we're trying to give them hours and set up deliveries, and we're toying around with the idea of what could work with the food truck that would avoid the public health risk of people lining up as they typically do. But so maybe that's advance orders of meal packages where we can, get everything set and ready to go, and then go to some delivery route or to certain central locations where we text people, hey, we're here, it's your turn to come pick up your food. Or I don't know what that looks like. It's all very new to us, but we are exploring different avenues to keep our team working and employed with us and support them as best as we can. We've from day one, we told everybody that if they need food for themselves and their families to come, even if they're not working, pick up food from the market. We're trying to get everyone through this in the ways that we know how.
Do you think this is going to lead to any sort of like permanent structural change or permanent business changes for you? Are you finding like new ways of doing things that you think you'll carry forward, or just new philosophies or anything along the way?
I think family meal packages, which we created specifically for this period where we're closed and where people are sheltering in place, I think that's something that can certainly continue and hopefully grow over time. The delivery services that we're doing now, there's no reason that those can't continue even once we open as a market and have the truck back on the streets. I'm sure that it's all evolving, each and every day. So hopefully this will, just continue to make our operations stronger and in the ways that
More resilient in some ways.
yeah, the food hall's got this great ambiance. We've never really focused as much on carry out and delivery. It's certainly something that that people that they want and would like to take advantage of.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about? I know you kind of mentioned some possible reimagining of these kitchen spaces and using them for more large scale work, for getting food out the door, for letting other people come in and produce stuff. Would you like to talk more about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the Pythian Market, we've got this massive space. Hopefully, it can be utilized. It's a 20,000 square foot facility. It could be utilized as a ghost kitchen for just meal production to feed thousands of people during during this disaster. The owner of the market is actually, she's based in New York, and she starting September 12th, she was doing post 9/11 meal prep for thousands of people. She's got this vision of, once we get some sort of funding from the government, to be able to use our space to do something similar in New Orleans and really just benefit the community in whatever way makes sense, whether that's offering meals prepped for families to in need to come pick them up, or to utilize our delivery services for that, to just to box everything, whatever might make sense in terms of what the needs are. But hopefully we'll be able to organize something and figure out a way to utilize our space in a way that benefits the community.
Yeah, I'm really liking this idea of shared space. I'm hearing a lot of this lately, right? The irony of we're supposed to be socially distant and keep apart from each other, but everyone's talking about pooling resources and spaces, but in really interesting and unique ways. I think that's something really worth exploring. And as y'all develop that, please let us know what's going on. I'd love to hear more.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess if that's everything, Rachel, please, where can we find you? Hit us with those shameless plugs. Where can people follow La Cocinita and keep up with what you're doing?
Sure. So on Instagram, we are La Cocinita Food Truck NOLA. You can order from the Pythian Market's website. It's pythianmarket.com/order. Yeah, hopefully we will be back on the streets soon with the food truck. But yeah, we'll post updates once we can get that going and figure out a safe way to do that.
Rachel, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to We'll Be Right Back, the future of hospitality. Each episode, we will be highlighting a different organization contributing to the relief effort here in New Orleans. This episode, we would like to highlight Chef's Brigade. Chef's Brigade is a collection of New Orleans restaurants, chefs, and servers feeding healthcare workers and first responders while financially supporting our independent restaurants, culinary talent, and service industry. To contribute to the cause and learn about this amazing initiative, head to chefsbrigadenola.org. We have a link in the show notes. Again, that's chefsbrigadenola.org. We'll Be Right Back is produced by me, Greg Tilton. My co-producers are Barry Schwartz of My House Events and Elizabeth Tilton of Oyster Sunday. Barry and Elizabeth are offering incredible resources and services during this time through their New Orleans-based businesses, as well as collecting and sharing various initiatives by other individuals and organizations. All of these are linked in the show description, so please make sure to check them out. You can follow us on Twitter for the latest updates and to let us know what's up, @RightBackNola. Please also consider leaving a review for us on whatever podcast platform you fancy. It helps us know what you think, and it helps people find the show. Our cover art was created by Eugenie McClellan. Our show's music was produced by Sarisu. We have links to their work in the show notes, so give them some love.